I got my dick in my pants. 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 I got that dick in my pants. I got that dick in my pants. I got that dick in my pants. Oh, I don't go to France. That dick in my pants. I got that dick in my pants. I got that dick in my pants. So I ain't going to France. I got my dick in my pants. I ain't going to France. I got that dick in my pants. Yeah.
You didn't even tell me what we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You can deal with it.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to the opposite of special episode of Boys Gone Wild. I don't think I've ever felt worse going into a podcast. Just really feeling out of form. I feel it's going to be a bad performance, but you know, it feels like it could either be the worst podcast we ever do or the second worst podcast we ever do.
If ifs and buts of candies and nuts, we'd all go home to the Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sets the kind of standard for what this match is going to be like, because it is a match.
It's a tennis match.
It is a match. It's a back and forth.
Every pun is a volley.
Because I'm in the middle of editing a really stupid sketch which I spent way too much time on. It should be out by the time you guys are watching this. It's a sketch about Adam Curtis, the BBC documentarian who I'm a big fan of, but we did a fun little sketch, but it's so niche and only sort of like normally only really like kind of skinny middle class white boys seem to like Adam Curtis.
Why are you looking at me?
Well, because you're a skinny middle class white boy, probably.
Please continue.
So I've been doing a lot of that, and I've been looking through a lot of archive footage, and I have a lot more respect for Adam Curtis as a filmmaker because I know how much pain it is. And especially when you're doing like a sketch that no one's going to watch. I don't think it will even put it on TikTok. It's the most self-indulgent thing I've done for ages, and knowing that no one's going to watch, but then putting more time into it than you've put in any other sketch, it really is quite crushing your soul. And I just feel if I'm in the middle of editing, my head's always somewhere else. So that's probably why I'm feeling this way. How about you, Drew? How are you feeling?
I am feeling ready for the podcast, ready for some good times. You see, it's yin and yang.
It is yin and yang.
It balances out. Yeah. I have been leading training today at work.
Great.
Moulding the minds of tomorrow, really shaping their future into exactly what it can be.
Were any of them younger than you or any of them older than you?
Everyone was at least, I'd say, 5 years minimum older than me.
Oh, wow.
Some of them, I'd say, 20 years older than me.
But
it's all about moulding the minds of tomorrow today.
Yeah.
And I don't see myself as just a teacher. I see myself as a spiritual leader, a comedian as such. And also just a shoulder to cry on when it gets dark and tough out there.
Which it does.
It does get dark and tough. But I was commenting earlier in that I have been training people in how to analyse financial crime for 8 hours today. And then within 10 minutes, I was upstairs pretending to be a kids' TV presenter with this outfit on, throwing it paper airplanes and waving sillily at the camera. Yeah. And it is a life that I've managed to keep separate.
It's the day and night. You're like, it's kind of like Bruce Wayne.
Exactly. Yeah. Just without any of the action
or the money
or the women. Yeah. But they, it amuses me a lot to. Just because there's not much comedy you can get into financial crime training. Yeah. And trust me, I'll bloody try. And so then they probably see me as this guy who likes his job.
Oh my God.
And is passionate about it.
Wrong place.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
But it's been an experience. The great thing about corporate meetings and corporate training is mostly with a new group of people that come in, and it is now become, I don't know what, I can't speak historically, but it's now become a rite of passage where at the start of every single training you all have to introduce yourself and say a fun fact about yourself.
Yeah, one of those kind of things just to try and force
icebreakers.
Yeah, icebreakers.
So what would your fun fact be?
That's really good because I think even at school you should do things like this, and I'd always freeze up because I genuinely would have no idea how to play it.
There's two people.
It's so hard to play it.
There's two people that spend every week, an hour, 2 hours talking
technically in front of people. I think I can imagine you're the same as me. As soon as I get a public forum and space to speak, I fucking panic.
Exactly. No, because I'm fine. Like, I'm good at like public speaking and like even improv and stuff like that. But when it's like specific things,
like that. When it says like, "What's a fun fact?" Then
anything
then 20,000.
I'll tell you what it is. Like, I can talk shit to a semi-professional level, but if you ask me something that I have to then define myself on the spot, favorite film, which kind of bands do you like?
That's it. Exactly.
Genuinely can't do it.
It's got because all of these facts run around my head. Like I wet the bed at age 3.
That's a great one.
These are the ones I want to say.
But that's not even the first or last time you wet the bed, so it should it'd be a great fact. That
Way
it's
too
just,
late.
It's just when you're just saying a time when you once wet the bed. You're not saying the last time I let the bed.
Nor is it a fun fact. Because I think what happens when someone says, "What's a fun fact about yourself?" All I think of is traumatic events.
Yeah. Well, you could bring up your parents' divorce.
Yeah. Fun fact?
That's a pretty fun fact, I'd say.
My parents divorced when I was in year 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, could work.
What would my fun fact? Would you know any?
I have realised what I've done is I have moved the conversation on, and I have created skillfully without anyone even realising. I have
bang in the dirt is gone.
Exactly.
Gone in 60 seconds. What's that? Nicolas Cage film?
Muscle.
You know the Nicolas Cage film?
Yeah.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Is it that?
Have you heard? You know that film I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Of him driving in cars and stuff. And it's like really... Well, it's called like Gone in 60 Seconds. And it's like quite a powerful title.
So it's like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, noted. So I have just ascertained my funnest facts that has any loose thing to do with me. And it's a good one.
What is it?
And only half of it's made up.
Okay.
So actually, today I saw on Facebook a Daily Mail article.
Sure.
And it came up because my cousin had commented on it.
Yeah.
Which is always a good start to any story for me because of my cousins. But the Daily Mail article was miracle twins born, identical twins born on different days.
Okay. Because it's over midnight.
My nan was born in a different decade.
Oh, that's pretty mental.
To her identical
That's a great fun fact.
Only half of that's made up because it was only a different year. It wasn't over a decade, but I put it in the decade. A year's good enough.
Wait, so the decade thing's all completely not true?
Yes. She was born in a different year because my nan's birthday is the 1st of Jan and her identical twin is the 31st of December.
What years were they? Just wasn't over
Let's say...
It wasn't across a decade, though.
No, it wasn't across a decade.
You've already got it, though. You've already got a fun fact. Why are you adding a lie when you can leave King of the Castle?
Because I'm always chasing that feeling. And I remember saying the first time and getting a good buzz off it. And then I said it to another person and... They reacted the same way, but I didn't feel the same when I said it.
The Pope is the highest form, in the Catholic Church, a human can reach, and he's only a messenger to God. And I feel you doing this is you trying to cross that barrier that
Are you trying to evoke my Irish Catholic family?
I am. I'm saying that a year, that means you're the best of us, because that's a great fact.
Yeah.
But then making up the decade, that's you're now playing gods.
Exactly.
You know?
And I am going to keep going until I regain the initial feeling that I had on the first occasion. Because otherwise I just can't live.
Yeah.
And I understand it's immoral and every time, but there is also, I think I also get a satisfaction of lying to a group of 20 people.
Yeah, it's a low stakes game, isn't it?
Yeah, because I prove it.
Do you think there's any other liars? Because I'm kind of fascinated about that. People who have like a bit of trivia, which they've bent the truth, and they think it's a small bent the truth, but it's actually completely changed. It's made it a fact into a fun fact, and they're carrying it around to the point they believe it.
It would be great if we could spend more time in the corporate meetings going around and actually diving into everyone's fun facts, checking their validity.
Fact checking.
Yeah. As in everyone gets on ancestry.com.
Do you? Well, actually, I've actually got the answer.
I haven't had a quick look, and I stress the quickness of that look. That seems everything you said
that
is
would be
false.
so funny.
Yeah. But that is...
Oh, you're on? We got her here. You got her here. Come on.
4 hours later. Come on in, Patricia. Tell everyone what you told me on the phone.
Yeah, is that true, Patricia? Does that add up? No.
Yeah. Stacey, you're a liar. Get out.
Sorry, Patricia. Thank you.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing today. A lot of it is fun facts and team building. You know, we've got.
Can you share anyone's fact, or is that patient doctor confidentiality?
Patient doctor confidentiality. Financial crime trainer, financial crime trainee confidentiality.
Is there anyone that? Come on. Give it like a generic one that popped out.
So if I'm being completely honest, I've stretched the truth again. And I wasn't there To be honest, let's put all our cards on the table.
What do you mean you
I
won?
didn't even say that fact today. There was.
Try now saying completely the truth. Just do the whole truth. Genuinely, what happened?
There was no fun facts exchanged. I came. They've been training. I'm not the main trainer. I'm the secondary trainer.
Okay.
They've been training together for 2 days,
Yeah.
so they know each other.
Yeah.
And then when I came on, the trainer was going round the group just as a morning hello, and he was going around and saying, let's go around and say if you got any film recommendations.
Yeah.
And then I jumped in late to the hangout, the
Yeah.
Google Hangout, and then he said, "Oh, hi, Andrew," and I waved. It was the first time I met them all, and he said, "As you're here, do you have any film or TV recommendations?"
Yeah.
Again, should have been my strong suit.
Sure.
I said Whiplash actually, just because
That's an alright one, but it's still
it's
a bit
pretty
of it's a bit of naughty
and The
take.
Boys on Amazon.
Is that good?
And then I said, yeah, it is good. It is good. Worth recommending. And then went into like a 10-minute analysis of The Boys. That's a lie again.
That's another lie.
Lie.
I knew that was a lie.
Well, because Horatio, in reality, I went on and said, The Boys, I'm Andrew, I live in London, and I'll be doing Financial Crime for a year. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I guess you should just keep lying.
I should just keep lying. Well, because this is the truth of that is at my start of working at the company I work at, we did all that. So
you're blending stories. That happens all the time. It's
Yeah,
like
no, and
when
I'm
you're doing stand-up, if you're doing like a story,
Yeah.
if you're doing about an ex-girlfriend, you just blend them all.
look,
Her, your mum, your sister.
we got 10 minutes out of it, and now we're fucking laughing.
Exactly. Well, the big laugh was the fact that it was a complete waste of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because very little of it was true.
Because essentially none of it was true.
Yeah.
Because I lied about the fun facts I do.
It's
and
the
then
craft,
lied
though,
about-
isn't it? And,
Well, the thing is,
it's a
because
skill that
if
both
you
of us
really want me
have.
to talk about my day, nothing fucking happens.
But it's a skill both of us you have to have, which is we're on a deadline. We've got a rabid fan base. You've got to just condense things into pithy things. The people who aren't in media, when you listen to them tell a story and they're like trying to remember exactly what happens, it's like I don't need the truth. Just like put a bit of pizzazz on it,
Exactly.
condense it. Was that the week before? Okay, and then 3 weeks later,
We're a fake news outlet.
We're a fake. It's reality is clearly a suggestion.
I don't know where this hat came from.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because it's here and it says City of London on it.
Oh, really? Yeah, that really makes no sense.
I have no idea.
Because we are in London, but we don't get given
But this
those.
appeared.
You don't get given
do you
those
not?
caps.
Because this appeared on my bedside
That's City of
table.
London. That's City of London School, by the way. That's not the City of London. I don't think.
Oh, it's Alfie's then.
Yeah, it's Alfie's.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Sometimes I lie.
We
Sometimes
should have gone with the lie.
print
yeah.
the myth.
Yeah,
Not
the
the
noble
story.
lie, like the Iraq War.
Exactly. Yeah, like the Iraq War.
Because they said there was no weapons. They knew there wasn't weapons of mass destruction, but we got to invade Iraq.
So it's kind of like it's a cost benefit analysis.
Do you know what I mean? It's like yes, it's not entirely true what the news was saying about it, but now we can all reflect saying it was a good idea
because we got the
invasion done, which was great.
If I say one, there's what's this quote? If asked,
just make it up. Doesn't
if
matter.
asked, what's the middle name of Peter Michael? Say Patricia, and then go on home and make some bacon.
Who said that? Was that more of a? Is that a saying? Was that Mahatma Gandhi?
Mahatma Gandhi.
A lot is attributed to that wee little man.
Happy Chinese New Year.
Is it today?
Last week,
Okay.
but it was since our last podcast.
Oh yes. To
Happy
all our
Chinese New Year.
I don't think we have a big Chinese base at the moment.
But it's changing.
But if you want to comment, and also subscribe to the Patreon, guys.
Fuck's sake.
It is growing.
Yeah.
It is doing well at the moment. So, and we're getting a bonus episode every week. I mean, that's not bad.
That's some pure content.
That's
I
some
saw
pure-
someone subscribe to the Patreon for 8 hours.
Someone deleted it later, and now I'm trying to change it.
Do you know what they did? They went on. They looked at
fucked
all
us.
of the episodes and they deleted it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have
So-
said that on air because that gives
No,
more people
because I'm
ideas.
looking into it now because I think I remember getting the option. At the time, I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm infringing on anyone. So I set it so that you don't have to pay when you arrive. You get like a month.
Yeah.
But that's a stupid idea.
You know who you are, though. You
Yeah.
fucking grafted us.
You graft us.
You got 8 hours of content and fucked off. And to
Someone-
be honest, we applaud you.
We applaud you. I mean, don't do it. If we get more people start doing that, then there's not much we can do, to be honest. But we
change the settings.
won't be happy. But yeah, that was so fucking cheeky. So fucking cheeky. I saw them add, and every time I get a new patron, I would get very excited. I'm like, we got a new patron.
Yeah.
And then
deleted
it, and it was 8 hours.
8 hours.
And all the views went up by 1. So she just blitzed it.
Fuck that. Again, it stands. What she's doing is so against us as persons. But
Yeah.
everything that we stand for.
It is what we
personalities.
stand for, because I'd easily do that for other things,
Yeah,
you know.
and she's taken down a giant media conglomerate.
Yeah.
which-
Talking about media, talking about Daily Mail, you mentioned the Daily Mail. I think we should probably crack into...
let's dive into it.
Let's dive into it. Well, so this week, I'm not sure if anyone saw, I got my first mention in the Daily Mail, which is very exciting. In many ways,
We all did. We all did.
It's often...
Present company included.
Yeah. It's often hard to forget that because Jessie was in Harry Potter, it means that she's going to be forever in the gutters of male gossip columns, who must be starving for stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
My God, just absolutely scraping the barrel. But there was a thing about where the Daily Mail writer mistakenly thought we'd flouted lockdown rules because some snitch in the comments had said that they thought we were flouting lockdown rules when we weren't. It was all legal. But the funny thing about the article wasn't the accusation.
Look it up quickly.
It's
This made my Friday night. Do you want me
what?
to?
Yeah, okay.
Horatio comes down. Horatio reserves a frantic mood for very specific situations, which he only.
I'm a stoic man.
And he very rarely interrupts conversation, because I was in a very long and deep conversation with my housemate.
It was a proper
And Horatio goes,
interruption.
guys, and usually
You just didn't stop.
I didn't stop because I looked at him and I kind of assessed it. I was like, you know what? I don't think this is worth pausing the conversation.
I literally shut you up.
And he was like, no, I wouldn't do this. I think I wouldn't do this if it wasn't important.
What's that voice? That's not
you.
me.
That's you.
That's not even a comedy version of me. Yeah. I'm not, you know.
Hello, and welcome to a
that's like,
not so special episode of Boys Gone Wild.
There's a nasalness for sure, but
Yeah,
okay.
there's nasal.
Okay, go on.
He comes down and he says, it's blown up. It's blown up. And he then showed me the Daily Mail article. And in it, if you look at it, it's hilarious. The best thing is, because the first thing you see is Horatio's face.
It's a very incriminating photo of us all looking guilty. Oh,
Yeah,
us just all
you all look guilty as fuck.
Because I went on that podcast. BB invites me over to like just say hello to the cameras, and then I immediately say this is inherently smug. And I was on there for 2 seconds. I literally dipped and dived. Little did I know. And then it's just the smuggest photo of us all looking, smiling like this.
Hey, don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah, it's true.
So in there,
that's a good one.
thank you, man. In there is a reference of the supposed, which is not true, breaking of lockdown rules.
Sure.
Very poor.
Just a misunderstanding.
Very poor reporting.
Yeah. By Bryony Jewel.
Everyone spam her.
Spam her.
I'm fully aware I'm not going to help this situation,
Yeah,
but I'm going to try my best not to completely destroy it.
Yeah.
But within that, there's a discussion of the lockdown, the potential lockdown breaking, which is not true.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to include some of us, as in Horatio's housemates, in it.
Yeah.
And the sentence is, because they spoke about it on the podcast, and say Horatio, who lives in a flat with 4 boys.
3 boys.
Four boys in total.
It says 4 boys. Yeah, I guess so.
4 boys in total.
I think she was making it 3. Okay, I guess so.
Yeah, the grammar.
Does that work?
The grammar's the problem here. Who lives in a house of 4 boys.
Sure. A flat. A house.
Here's a house. We have a garden.
So it goes on to say within. They mentioned on the podcast this information, and they said Horatio, BB goes on to say in the podcast that the cleanliness of the house is so terrible that there's even a mushroom growing in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Now-
they quote absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
She said the cleanliness of the house is quotation absolutely disgusting. So bad there's even quotation a mushroom growing in it.
Yeah. Now I've got 2 things to say to the viewers and the Daily Mail about this.
So that was the big funny thing is that somehow 2 weeks after this we found a mushroom in our bathroom. 2 weeks later it ends up in the fucking Daily Mail.
Now, the first thing I'd like to say is I will be resigning from Boys Gone Wild with immediate effect.
It's one of those things.
The actions of my co-host do not reflect my beliefs, nor do they affect my understandings of the situation. I appreciate the Daily Mail's coverage of this, as it's shine important light in a very dark time. Everyone must be held accountable for their actions, and without that accountability, we can't move forward as a nation. Therefore, I have decided, with a heavy heart, that I will no longer be able to co-present with my oldest friend because of his negligence he's shown in his actions.
I can only say I'm sorry. I just need time to.
Secondly,
Can I?
yeah, you can interject.
Does it? I think this is a good time to tell you something I've been struggling with.
Can I just say quickly before you start, I do not hold Horatio Gould's views. I am my own separate person. What he says does not necessarily reflect on Andrew Curl and the brand himself.
I just think it's important that people... this has been taking a while, and I've been kind of skirting around this for a couple of years, but I think this is probably a good time to bring it up, is that I'm gay, and I've been struggling with that. I'm gay, and not only am I gay, which, you know, it's obviously not a bigger deal as it used to be being gay, but it was obviously quite a hard thing to come out with. And now that the Daily Mail are writing about me, I think it's going to come out there at any point. I'm gay. I'm also fat. I'm a fat gay man.
He's a fat gay man.
I've been closeted as a fat person as well. And so to all the people who are saying I'm scum, that I'm the worst of the worst, that I am the reason 100,000 people in the UK have died from COVID.
Lockdown Nazi sympathiser.
Lockdown Nazi sympathiser. I think it's important to remember I've been dealing with this constantly as a fat gay man.
Yeah.
The whole time I've been an overweight gay man. And yes, I don't look overweight, but that's because, you know, I've been a closeted fat man, you know?
And I understand Horatio's opinion on that. However, I still feel that I have...
Yeah, but I'm gay.
I haven't known about his fatness nor his gayness for the...
Do you not even have suspicions about the fatness?
No. I cannot comment to that. I do not attest to that. Okay. This
So are you resigning for the podcast because
yes.
I'm fat and gay?
No. So I would like to make that statement incredibly clear.
So I've just come out as fat and gay.
Look, I've now got a narrative to respond to. You've counter-moved. Upon seeing Horatio Gould's testament in the paper of his newfound fat and gayness, I would like to highlight and accentuate the fact that I had no idea of his identity when I made my initial resignation. Once it became clear, it made me empathise more with his destruction.
Because I've been doing it the whole time. I've been fat the whole time doing it.
I do not attest to that. I cannot speak to that. However, my decision still not race. I didn't say race.
You just said race.
I didn't say race.
He's folding. He's folding under the pressure.
I'm gay too. We're all gay.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay. With the new.
Can I make my second?
Can I make another statement?
Yeah.
Actually,
God,
with the new statement Andrew just made that he's gay, I've decided that I'm going to be resigning from this podcast because I obviously not homophobic, but I don't think there should be two gay men on a podcast.
Having heard the news of Horatio decided to take over the podcast based on my identity, I have decided to take sole responsibility for the podcast and will bastion it as a gay joint where all of us people of the similar identity can come and talk about all things gay.
So yeah, it's just it's a complex mess. It's a complex
We've been doing this all week. It's been a media circus. We've had our PR guys who are not very good getting involved. I've been making Instagram posts with my 100 followers that no one's read.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. That's
it's
another lie.
I mean, it's funny that genuinely the mushroom made it to the Daily Mail. And just to clear up about the mushroom, we have a bad...
No, because that's my second point.
Yeah, go on.
Can I? Because I've made my first point is to resign and diminish all your actions.
Yeah,
so after
I've
don't you dare try and change this narrative. After I've humbly resigned because I can no longer fully believe in my co-host, who happens to be a fat gay man. After I've humbly resigned of that position because of the issues of his behaviour, which are abhorrent. However, I would like to also address the Daily Mail. Say, if you look up online, okay, I know that they said it on the podcast, fine. A mushroom did grow in our bathroom.
Sure, that's
fine.
That's a fact.
So this was my point in my press
There was a
conference.
mushroom. It's a lot. It was a lot.
My press conference would be coming out as a humble, understanding man who's like patiently resigning with a heavy heart. But then I go into my second phase.
Do you know who has a heavy heart?
You,
because I'm fat. Just letting you know.
Yeah. But the second part would be, I'm directly, what's her name?
Who?
The Daily Mail journalist.
Bryony, I think.
Bryony.
Yeah.
Number one.
Catch it all.
Number one. Get a real name. What is either Bryony or it's Brian.
Well, maybe I've missed.
If Horatio's wrong, I will resign again. with a heavy heart.
You can't keep resigning.
Look, I can resign as many times
Well,
as I
I've
want.
already resigned because
But
you're...
you don't. This is how PR works, Horatio. You don't have to actually resign. You just say you're going to
Okay,
resign.
all right.
If your name, if Horatio's got your name wrong, he doesn't hold the views that I hold, and I wholeheartedly resign. However, if
So
it
you're
is,
allowed to just resign at a press conference and then come back and do the pod the next week and it's fine?
yeah. Have you not seen 2020? What?
What?
That's some satire.
Yeah.
However, let's address the mushroom. Yes, we had a fucking mushroom growing in our bathroom.
That's a fact. That's fact.
No one's
We
hiding.
can't
from
deny
it.
that.
We're not hiding. There's a picture.
They're wrong about the
Picture
lockdown.
here.
They weren't wrong about the mushroom.
Picture here. We're going to get it up.
Yeah.
Picture there. It's very cute, little guy. It grew very quickly. We can see before and after. There's two there. Now, we are not unhygienic.
We're not
a
too
mushroom.
bad. We're not too bad.
What I want to dispel in the media is the myth that mushrooms growing in your bathroom equals unhygienic practices.
This is a big myth that's going around.
Is Daily Mail right-wing slander.
Yeah.
Absolute slander.
It's reactionary
If you look
bile.
at reactionary nonsense politics.
Yeah.
And if you look it up on the internet, go on Google and type in mushroom bathroom, how did it happen, ? You will see the first 3 Google searches you will find are mushroom growth mostly occurs in bathrooms due to the humidity of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Now, we have a very hot shower
Very hot
because
shower.
we're blessed with good water pressure.
We do.
Sue us. We're one of the 1%.
yeah.
Come at us. But that mushroom grew purely due to the pressurized water and water pressure that arrived in our air that then created the good conditions, the perfect
It's like a
conditions
greenhouse in
for
there.
mushroom growth. So we do not look at our mushroom as a means of embarrassment or shame. We look at our mushroom as a means of hope, a means of a new beginning. And why would we cut down that mushroom when we can let it grow forth and signify just how quality of a shower we have?
Yeah, so we're not ashamed of the mushroom. I think we should also use this opportunity to stop stigma with people who have mushrooms growing in their bathroom. Obviously,
They've missed the real story.
Off the bat, it sounds great. If I heard that someone had a mushroom growing, the first thing I'd think was there's so much basically feces on the floor.
Yeah.
There's so much piss and shit and cum
Yeah.
that's collected.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's just molded into
a
some,
mushroom.
Yeah, it's like a mushroom
Yeah.
as some sort of like fungi and mold. We
Yeah.
have a lot of mold in the bathroom. We have a very moldy house.
Sure.
It's Victorian. Every old house has a mold problem. There's no real clear way to. You have to get like a humidifier. It's a nightmare dealing with mold, and we've been dealt a bad hand.
Do you think we look like two guys who would buy a humidifier?
No, we're not getting. We're not that level.
You do, actually.
Maybe actually. I wore this shirt because I wasn't really feeling up to it, so I thought we could do the heavy lifting on personality. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see that. And I've accidentally come up at this just because we were shooting the sketch and now I'm wearing this. It is.
It's a pretty chilled out guy.
It's the most messy slut catty dad we've
Yeah,
had.
it really is. Tight trousers, all done up. Got the really.
I'm wearing my
flamboyant-
hip hop cords and a hat I don't own.
He's got a condom on his penis now.
Hey, who
Flaccid.
knows?
Who knows?
It's more for the comfort rather than anything. Because it's always nice to have a hug,
It is nice to have a hug.
regardless of where it is in your body.
But yeah,
Do you think we've covered that enough?
I think we
So
have.
if there are any journalists listening who want to reach out for comment, just drop me an email at andrewkerwood3@gmail.com.
Please do.
Anyone drop me an email.
Please, can we?
I need to bump up my
If you want
English.
some statements.
I'm absolutely happy to help, and I will absolutely speak for BB and Jesse Cave. They've given me the power to do so. And that is that. Speaking of power to do so, actually, I've just remembered
You've got power of attorney.
Yeah. Did you look at my papers?
No. What?
Oh no! So I've literally today I signed papers.
Oh really? I was just joking.
Yeah. No, today I signed. My mum sent me papers in the mail.
Not the Daily Mail.
Whoa! Sent me papers in the Daily. No, I've fallen into your trap there. She sent me papers to sign today that grants me power of attorney for her in the case of her mental and physical debilitation.
Well, so if she goes bonkers.
If she goes nutsy boings and starts, pooing all over the place, then guess who's in charge of her estate?
You.
Me and Melissa and David.
So is it like a will?
No, it's just not. No, it's a power of attorney. It's like in the place where
You
she
get to
becomes
turn off the
mentally.
machine if she goes on a stroke.
Absolutely.
If she gets in a coma.
So she has made the biggest mistake of her life.
Because so technically, as soon as she's out, you can be like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I've signed it
See ya.
today.
Yeah.
I've signed it today. I'm gonna go to the authorities tomorrow, being like, she's lost it. I think I need to pull
It's
the
like
plug.
it's what she would have wanted. She's showing signs of life. It's what she should have wanted. She would have wanted.
No, just pull the plug. She's completely fine. She's walking around. She's not in hospital. But no, but pull the plug.
I have power.
I have
of
power.
eternity.
Dissolve her estate. So I I mean, I'm going to be making a lot of jokes in terms of dissolving her estate and her health.
That's good. Yeah, it set you up. I'm sure she's going to regret it just for the jokes.
Yeah, because I've already said all of those things to her immediately on Facebook.
How they landed well on the first... Because this is probably the best they're going to land.
No, because my mum likes a lot of my jokes, but for that one, she did a sarcastic ha-ha, very funny.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not nice.
That's really... That's as
because
harsh
I
as
think
those kind of women can get.
I think fairly she's taken it quite seriously because it is a document
and
that
she has to
signs
think
over
about her.
Yeah. It's a document that signs over control of her life, her health and finances to her loved ones.
I mean, it's amazing she's had control over it for this long.
As we said, she is legally a paedophile. And she is unfit to run children.
You had a selection of words there that you could have chosen with legally, and it was going to be something aggressive, and then you went for paedophile.
Yeah, I did. I feel bad because she sent me a message today saying thank you for the nice words in the last podcast.
She didn't send you thank you for not telling everyone I'm a paedophile.
Exactly. Her nice words are me not outing her as a child molester. No, because
she can't say on the
lovely,
internet. Yeah.
Love you, mum. But now it seems like a countdown until her mental incapacity.
Yeah, it's a ticket. I've said this from when I think I met her first when I was like 13. I've said, Drew, she's a ticking time bomb. I've always said this. It's one snap and she's gone. Yeah. Honestly, it's a miracle she's made it this far.
Yeah, if someone has the wrong curtains in their living room, I could see it just being like just an overload.
One and yeah.
Yeah, but now I have power of attorney over someone. Not yet, but I think a lot of it, because I think it's an interesting concept, power of attorney. I mean, I'm also sharing it with two more responsible people. So I'm only ever going to have a third of the say on the vote, which I think is wise. And if I was being honest, I think if my mum had to have two people as her power of attorney and she couldn't have three, I'd be the first person to be axed.
Yeah, probably. You would.
I would.
You would.
Because I'm not responsible. I mean, you can look at me right now.
Yeah.
My sister isn't doing this.
No,
she's not wearing this and
she's
saying
not
these
accusing
things.
of her of paedophilia on a podcast that goes out to over 500 people.
Yeah. And good to you, mum.
You said nutter and I said bonkers, and it reminded me of a story of I remember this one time at university where, because this is kind of an interesting thing, where I once called someone an idiot. And a friend of mine called me up saying that you can't say that because that's offensive to... and then I asked her, because I was fascinated. So idiot, she said, was offensive to people with mental disabilities. I don't even know who quite... I think it's just anybody who's vaguely stupid. It's offensive to them. And it's basically said it was like you can't say anything anymore. So I was like, can I say like moron? She goes, no. Can I say absolutely mental? And like, no. And I kept going through it. So like, what can you say? And she literally, she was strained for a minute. She was like... And she said this. This is a human being with a brain that works. She goes, not clever? Can you imagine?
Well,
can you imagine not having like, you can't say stupid.
The interesting thing about saying...
Not clever?
The interesting thing about commenting and like putting your colours to the mast and saying you could say not clever is that if we continue the same way we're going, in 10 years, you wouldn't be able to say not clever because it'll be offensive.
And this is the problem, is that it's just really hard to catch. You have no way of...
Because, it is one of the best conversations I've heard of that. It is, right, because where it comes from is... Obviously, I think it would become for anyone with like learning difficulties or a mental...
I haven't got learning difficulties.
Not really, Horatio. Shut up.
No, I do.
Yeah, you can't.
Learning difficulties. What's learning difficulties?
Well, I was talking more about...
Not Down syndrome or something. That's not learning difficulties. I wouldn't class that. I'd say dyspraxia, ADHD, dyslexia. Those are learning difficulties. Those are like.
But learning
mind
difficulties
maps
got
and
a broad
drawings.
blanket that a lot of things can be.
Exactly, and I don't think they should be, because I think it's unfair on people who.
So what the problem is that
truly debilitated.
When you're calling someone an idiot, in the context that you would be, you're saying the actions that they're choosing to do are ridiculous, and the thoughts that they have are ridiculous, right? Yeah. And that you're kind of presuming a sound mind of it, because if someone who was mentally disabled said that, calling them an idiot would be offensive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing that she's missing from that is that there is a knowledge that the person you're talking about isn't mentally disabled. They're just a knob.
Yeah.
So that's because like there are contexts where something like that could be offensive, but it shouldn't be a blanket rule that you can't call anyone an idiot because there should be some presumption of a sound state of mind.
And it was also interesting because it was like, you know, with like calling someone gay, there's only a few terms that are not acceptable, and they're still acceptable words. You can now say queer, you can say gay, but with the idiot one, there was no word that anyone actually used that was acceptable. That was what was fascinating.
Big old dum-dum.
Yeah, I think dumb.
Dumb, that's worse.
That's bad.
Yeah, because dumb was actually used historically as a way to classify people that had poor mental capacity.
Yeah, dumb. So you can't use that. And I think the point is, if it was like one or two words and you had like loads of other words and a group had said, please don't use this word, it's fine. Like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Use different words, whatever. But because basically it was so you can't, every single word that was implying someone was stupid had a history of doing it. So
what do you call stupid people? As in,
not clever.
No, because
not clever.
Because the problem, do you know what I mean? Where the problem there is, you meet, like, if you were to come down and say that the Queen, no,
go on,
no,
try it. Okay,
you can't make me. You can't make me say it. Okay. You can't make me say it. I don't want to say it. I back out. If you were to come down and say,
you're really reaching for it.
Tony Blair,
yeah,
was not the Prime Minister. He was a leader of the opposition and never made it into power.
Yeah.
What do I say? You're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because that is...
Yeah, but even it's skirting around. So like, this is like the furthest end of us being like trying to...
I don't know why Tony Blair was...
The Queen and Tony Blair. It's like... you really go off the surface, don't you?
Or do you not dream about the Queen and Tony Blair?
You're sort of stuck in the year you were born. You're stuck in the world you were born into.
I'm still just a baby going around.
But I just think...
Also, can you not reveal my age live on air, please? I'm trying to get out tickets. I'm trying to play younger types.
What do you think, casting?
Casting's tough out there. I don't want anyone knowing that.
What age range are you going for?
I'm going for like 12 to 16 at the moment. I really try to focus on, you know, when you have films where the young characters... So like my ideal role would be Benjamin Button.
Sure.
But at the end of the movie when he's a kid. And because
so you want to be part of someone's narrative who's not only exists as a kid.
But not too much. But not too much. And it'd be grossly inappropriate about the age I'm playing.
Okay, I think I'd like to play I'd like to play like a 6-year-old in like a sitcom or a drama about a school, and like I'm just the background. So, you know, maybe it's a detective who has a kid at school, and that's like a really humanizing thing. I'm not her kid, by the way.
Oh, you're not? Okay. I don't know.
I'm not her kid.
You're not.
I'm an extra.
Okay.
Who's an extra 6-year-old.
Yep.
So when she goes to pick, you know, she's dealing with loads of threats, and she has to hide this from the kid, and it's a very humanizing thing for another quite hard detective woman, and this is like one of her most redeeming factors is her child and her love for her child. Yeah. She goes to that school to pick her up. And you see all the kids sitting down, like you're doing like nursery reception and stuff.
Always with their legs crossed.
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
And they're all 6-year-olds, but there's just me sitting there as well, in the same size clothes as them.
Yeah.
So like the t-shirt, but like
wearing that.
No. What they're the same thing as them. So like the same size. So it's like ripped. My skin is like coming out.
Ball hanging out.
There will be. There will be. So it's like it's either unbelievably tight or it's like popped.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'd want to be. But it's like you only see me in the background.
Yeah,
like, is he?
Is he meant
to be?
Should he? I'm not sure that's a. Is his ball?
Is he? Is he one of the teachers? Or is he one of the kids? That's kind of what I'm playing. So that's why I'm not going to reveal my age.
Yeah,
because otherwise it definitely won't happen.
Yeah. So let's just be a bit more careful when we're revealing our birth years.
Okay. Gripes.
Okay.
What?
Well, I thought you were in the middle of saying something.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I think we covered it. It was silly.
I'm in a bad mood. I want to move on to the next.
No,
topic.
it's because I realised with the thing about idiot is the logical endpoint of that argument is a heated thing about free speech. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I was just bailing out because it was a funny thing, but I don't want to have a lecture when everyone already agrees with us.
So the thing about Postman nowadays is.
So this is your gripe. This is gripe of the week.
How Now I get it. right? I get it. Look, I get it more than most, okay? I've been around the block. My friend's dad...
talking about coochie, baby.
You know it.
You know, if a friend of girl.
My friend's dad, not my dad's friend. Equally applicable, but my friend's dad is in the post service, and that's the Royal Mail to you, cunts. But he
said that to you before, hasn't he?
He has. No, he hasn't. He's not that funny. So I get it. I've been round the block, literally, because that's what postmen do.
Nice.
They go round the block.
That is good. That is good. It's solid.
I get it. We're in weird times. We're in unprecedented COVID pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Can you lay down a beat for this, actually? So we get it. I've been there, but I don't understand why the postman has to put the post on the ground, then he walks away. The thing is, I get it. We're in lockdown. You don't have to say hello to me or hand me the post, but that's not the most annoying thing. The thing about it is when you put the post... Can you keep a consistent beat?
Okay.
Quicker. Yeah. Jazzy Jeff, yo. Drew K on the beat. So I get it. We're in COVID times, but that doesn't mean I can't spit my rhymes about the postman. Yeah. Yeah, fine. That was we had a bit of a play around. Right.
I didn't
we're
say
in.
That. I was too busy focusing on
fair enough.
this
So I get it. We're in COVID times. You can't hand the post to me. That's absolutely fine. So this isn't like letterbox post. This is parcels. You don't have to hand the post to me. I get it. You can put it on the floor, walk away, give me a little wave, you know.
Yeah.
I have had on the last 3 occasions, I've heard, so, because we've got, as you know well, this is kind of another window gripe, to be honest, but you can see...
I mean, we don't have much to go off these days. We've got looking out the window.
That's all we need to be. We hate when that DJ plays that song in that club.
Yeah.
Or you hate when you're waiting, now it's just like,
When those people walk past your window and they look in, go away.
now, and it's postman related. But, so they see me working in the living room and they give me a little wave. And I fucking love that, you know. A wave over a knock every day.
Sure.
Every day. Hiya, mate. I'm here to deliver your post.
Even if you know it's coming, it hurts the ears if you're getting it all
exactly.
day.
But what
Bang,
you get
bang,
a little
bang.
you get a
Not
little
good.
salute or a little wave.
Yeah.
And what you're saying there is, hiya, mate. Hope you're having a good day and all is well. I'm just going to pop in quickly. I'm going to be at your door in about 2 seconds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver you the post that you've ordered
We're both
on a
working.
previous day.
We're both working,
We're both
man.
working, but we can make this a smooth and easy interaction.
Sure.
And I wave back and I say, hiya, mate. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well too. Absolutely, you're welcome to come to our front door. No need to knock. That's absolutely fine. Are you
saying this, or is this?
No,
what's
this is
being
all
communicated?
encompassed in the waves.
Okay.
I've seen you. You don't need to
I
knock.
see you.
I see you, and I also see you. You don't need to knock. I'll go to the door, and what we'll do is we'll meet each other there.
Yeah.
I get that it's COVID. You leave that on the floor. We'll do a quick wave to each other and communicate some more in telepathy as well. And then you'll be off and you'll be in your next house.
Cool.
Absolutely. So then when I do that and then go to the front door, I have had 3 occasions where I've opened the door and I've been greeted with nothing. There's no one there. I can't see anything. On 3 occasions, I've then walked outside, looked around, and he's nowhere to be seen. He's gone. And then I turn around and I see that the post is on the floor by the door.
Okay, so what's the gripe?
The gripe is when the postman does that wave, one, he's violating the trust that you communicated together through that symbolic wave, because that's more than just a wave. There's a lot of things that are going on underneath that. Secondly, you haven't, just the wave enough isn't to suggest that I'm definitely going to go to the door. I might think that he's going to another house and I'm just being a friendly neighbour. Okay. If he then doesn't knock, leaves my post on the door, that is susceptible to theft, damage, loss. So what I don't like is opening the door and the post being there, but the postman not being there. At least give me a salute. Don't get me wrong, loads of postmen do it.
Wait, so they knock and run?
It's a knock and run. It's a knockdown chincher kind of situation.
Yeah. Okay. How do I feel about that? I don't know. I disagree. I think
That's
I'm a little...
because you never opened the bloody door to post.
Yeah, it's true.
That's my other gripe of the week. I'm up and down all fucking day answering. I don't even get any posts.
Yeah, I've been getting loads.
I don't get any.
I've been getting loads.
Horatio, I've come up here every fucking day and there's a different rug in here. Because he's got a little bit of money all of a sudden. No one knows how.
Not anymore.
But I'm literally looking at a ginormous cardboard box for the chair.
In my chair, it's my back. I need Lombard support. Yeah.
There's new plants in here. There's new cabinets.
Yeah, there's not new plants. plants. They just
So
move the plants around.
So what I'm really, it's a double gripe. It's a gripe of me answering for your post, and then also the postman not giving me what I need
from me. But whenever I go above £500, which is quite rare this year,
you get stanky on it.
As soon as I'm above £500, and I'm like flitting between, that's all I've got. Below £500, I'm freaking out. Above it, I am buying everything until I go below £500.
There's no middle ground.
There's no middle ground. I've fallen for 2 sponsored ads, which I'm normally brutal with.
What were they?
One was I can't believe it. The amount of times they're probably the most advertised thing, which is back posture related things, I find.
Oh, yeah.
Just like some sort of back.
Not mine. We all know what mine are.
Yeah.
They're penis socks. The penis socks or anal cream.
And I fell for one, which is one that you like, because I just want to just do some like back exercise, and I fell for one. It's shit, of course it is. And then I've got another one which I think should be all right, which is like a headband sleep band thing, which is which is like sort of like an eye mask, sort of like a headband, but it's got headphones inbuilt. Because if you're going to sleep listen to podcasts, it's awful for your ears having those in, and having those you can't turn on your side. So it's a great thing, and it works perfectly. It's all good. But then I realise I'm an adult. I don't do that. I can just play it out of my speakers if I do that, and I don't even use it anymore.
There is something different about listening.
It's because it was on sale. It's because it was on sale, and I fell for that.
We're saying two different things, but you're looking like you're agreeing with me.
It's because it was on sale.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it sounded like you were trying to finish my sentence with something completely different. No, I get like when you're listening to some like a podcast, it's nicer to have it in your ear when you go to sleep. There's something more. It kind of lulls you to sleep a bit more than if. I
used to do that, and that would have been perfect for me then. I just haven't done that for about a year. And
now you can't hear out of your left ear.
Yeah.
Pardon? Yeah.
I'd actually that actually brought me up on a gripe that I wasn't planning to do, which is that Andrew does this game.
Not just me, quite a few people as well.
No. Some people sometimes do it in front of you because it's a way of like, let's share this moment. But it's not even close. All right, Andrew, which comes from his dad. So there's a lot of there's a lot of emotions tied up to this game.
He's not listening.
Can you explain what this game is?
Pardon? So it's a game when anything that is, if anyone says anything to do with hearing, mostly. So if Horatio said, it's really loud out, have you heard how loud the bloody builders are outside? I would then say pardon, and if Horatio repeated his sentence, I win and take all the glory. Yeah,
so he does this all the time, and he's been doing it consistently it's been consistently for a decade. No one actually finds that funny, Drew. Yeah. Genuinely, no one actually finds that funny.
The thing is, that game, and part of me knows that.
Genuinely, it's never killed a room.
The thing is,
like it's genuinely.
No, it doesn't kill it. Of course,
it's never made anyone else laugh.
Only for me. It's one of like I'm not a selfish comedian in groups, but I am with that.
Okay, yeah.
And it really, no, you know what? It's a power thing. It's absolutely a power thing, and also a longing for a sense of community.
But I would get the power thing if it was expressing even like some form of power, because what I found annoying about it is like I find it so annoying that I don't even go like, fuck, I don't even react like that. I ignore it so fully because I feel numb. I feel like I go into a period where I feel so numb because I can't even be asked to explain to you, because I have tried at times and you won't accept it, that it's not, you haven't lampooned me. It's not a lampoonage.
Wait, say that again.
You have not lampooned me. No, because that's not about hearing.
Yeah, but we're talking about the game, so it counts.
It doesn't count.
It counts.
This is a great example.
It counts. The beauty of the game is that it's not as basic as just when anything's saying anything other than speaking.
But why would I not trust you when you just say...
You've just been lampooned.
That's not a lampoon. If I was saying about hearing...
Lampooned.
If I say I can't hear well, I can get a what. That sort of makes sense. But you do it for the most minor things. You're like, pardon. And sometimes it'll be across like, what's mental is it'll sometimes be across a loud room. You'll be sitting across a room. It'll be hard to hear each other. Yeah. And then you'll go, what? Incredibly sincerely. And I'll repeat myself as any sane person would. And then you're like, ah! Oi! And it's like, that's not a win. That's not a lampoon.
So me and my dad have had a difficult relationship. For many years.
Sorry, obviously I don't. Obviously, I don't. I know that.
So do you want to maybe take your gripe back?
I'll take my gripe back.
Thank you. So for the parting game for me is a win-win because when people get fed up with the parting game, I just play the dad card and then what are you gonna do?
But then I do sometimes see him playing the pardon game with his dad when his dad isn't there, and then I'm like, this is quite tough.
What's that?
But he's like, what? Got your dad?
It's, right, it's
and then
one
I'll
of those
look in the, I'll repeat. It's like, oh, that's cute. Oh, his dad's not
Yeah,
there.
so it's like any comedy or
It's
any.
like playing catch with an imaginary dad. Pardon?
Pardon? Oh, you got me. Better luck next time, Dad. But with like any comedy or film or art, once you get into it, often or sexual preferences, once you get into a certain thing, you want to push the boundaries even further, and that is the same thing as pardon. So the joy comes once you've understood the basics and you grapple with the basics, then you can start to push it forward, and that's when the real joy of the game comes into it, because you start doing it for things like sight. So there was a classic one within our family of my sister was talking about when she was in the basement and she couldn't see. Proper good one. A proper good pardon. And me and Dad both went simultaneously pardon, and she still replied. And we all had a good laugh. And now I'm realising even more that I've got a lot of unresolved family issues. I started that segment thinking I was going to prove you wrong.
Oh, I can imagine just both you and your dad saying pardon at the same time. With that
Yeah, because when all they talk about is musical theatre, all I've got is that game.
I think that brings us on nicely to the Hunger Games, does it not?
Yeah, it really
Because
does.
it's about games, isn't it?
It's about games. So I started the Hunger Games again recently, mostly because Amazon Prime have been pushing that. And you know what? Let me do one more quick right before we go into that. With Amazon Prime. Okay, I'll make a mental note of that. With Amazon Prime, what they do, which I find offensive, and Netflix do it as well, any streaming
Exploit their
platform does
workers
this.
in their working factory.
Oh, you've read my...
underpaid the workers to a point which is ridiculous, considering that Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world, and you have people who have almost slave-like conditions in the developed world. It's absolutely sickening.
People living, people dying, people burning,
I'm talking to you, Jeff. And also, that episode we did when we revealed you for the fucking scumweed that you are, Jeff. We lost 100 views for some reason. Overnight they disappeared. I know that you control tech. I don't give a fuck because the people's power is more important than tech. I was listening to an interesting podcast, actually. Is that basically, I think we overestimate the tech giants. We think they're all powerful. We think that Google understands everything about us. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're not as powerful as we think. What? Remember the rich people of old? Remember Rockefeller? Remember Carnegie? These are people who at least had some dignity. Who are our fucking rich people? Jeff Bezos, the most boring fucker in the world. If you're gonna exploit the working class, at least do it in some fucking style. You know, can we get some fucking cool rich people for once?
A, B, C.
Time,
Simple as 1,
2, 3.
Easy as
People power, baby.
A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me. There's always the light at the end of the tunnel. So on Amazon, what they do,
Yeah.
again, it's really hard when you're laying a backing track to hear anything you say.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yeah, I
worthwhile.
presume it was. I kind of got the gist of it. So what they do is, if you go on Amazon Prime, do it now. If you go on Amazon Prime or Netflix and you go top rated series, so that Amazon Prime do a specific one, top rated series on IMDb.
Sure.
And all the list is their recently added movies. They're the same list. What annoys me about it is that for me if you want to find an actually good movie, you have to look up lists of it, basically, of what's actually available on Amazon Prime.
Sure.
Because if you're trying to navigate through the homepage, all it is a propaganda machine to try and get the movies to make you watch the movies that they want you to watch. So like, I stumbled across Hunger Games because I was going through the top-rated IMDb series movies.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking lie.
Yeah.
Go on IMDb. It don't add up, sister.
Sure.
So, anyway, that's an additional gripe. But I started watching the Hunger Games again, and I am now I'm 3.5 films in, so I've got the last half to go.
Sure.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
My take on the Hunger Games: the character arcs are the most obscene thing I've ever seen
Really?
in any program or TV series or film.
Because I thought Hunger Games was like an alright one.
There were
for a
two-
young adult fiction series.
There are two kinds of character arcs.
Okay.
Excluding Katniss.
Okay.
Excluding Katniss.
Sure.
Every character is either exactly the same for every single scene ever, and they don't have any development or regression.
That's true.
Or
Yeah.
they change every scene.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson
Yeah.
is introduced as a raging alcoholic.
Sure, yeah.
He wakes up in the morning and he's a loving man who loves Katniss.
Yeah.
That
So
continues.
That's some depth.
No, because then at the and he sends in these, you know, when you can send sponsors can send items into the games to help them, and it's always him sending them, and it's got like apply heavily H for Haymitch is his name. So that shows that he likes Katniss and he loves her. And then the next film opens with him being a drunk and he says he hates her. Then he wakes up the next morning and he's lovely again.
Wasn't that just that's the showing about what the duality of an alcoholic?
No, because he suddenly forgets that he's an alcoholic. There is one scene where all he's doing is drinking and looking for the next drink. The next scene is him being the most loving, kind person who actually likes Katniss. It's not showing about the duality of the alcoholic because his entire personality changes. So the character arcs are either nothing.
But don't your personality would change if you're an alcoholic? Surely that's kind of what the point was. Is that once you're drunk, it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of vibe, is it not? So it's the contrast.
Oh God, maybe.
Okay, well, another one.
No, I don't think another. Well, most of it is based on that. Most of my.
He was so excited with his take as well about. He was like, "Oh no, I've got a good one."
No, I don't think it does show the duality of an alcoholic because when
I wanted to go with you on that one, but I think
but when you're waking up in the morning, for fuck's sake. Oh God.
You won't even remember the other characters' names. Like you did well. Well, you don't even remember. Yeah, Haymitch.
No, it was all based on that. It was almost exclusively based on Haymitch.
Yeah, because he's a drunk, and the whole point.
Anyway, we've been boys gone wild. No, so I'd like to continue this train of thought because I want you to rewatch it again, and it is not.
I watched it recently.
Well, your mum's watched it recently. Pardon? I don't. You can't. He wakes up as an. It's not about the duality of man. Because it's also about Katniss's understanding and relationship with him as well. Okay. Because she says she like absolutely degrades him and says he's an alcoholic. Stop laughing. He's an alcoholic, drunk, and then he wakes up. Maybe I just see too much of myself in him.
Yes. Yeah, because Haymitch is the closest character to what you're like. So it's.
Anyway,
who's this guy? What people are like that? Look, alcoholics aren't like that.
So I opened that statement with there's two types of character arc. You agreed with the first one, is that there are no character arcs for anyone other than Katniss.
Okay.
As in, no.
Okay, go.
Stop.
Okay.
There are no character arcs of anyone other than Katniss. As in, if you look at Gale, who is Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
He doesn't change throughout the whole. He is the same guy.
He's quite two-dimensional.
Everyone else other than Katniss is two-dimensional. No, even Peter.
Liam Hemsworth's character, you start liking him, and then you find out that he's actually not the dude. And you start not liking the other guy, and you find out he's actually the dude.
What?
There's the two dudes.
Yeah, Liam and
the other guy.
Gale and Peter.
Peter! And also, okay, let's...
people stop giving a shit for saying it like that. They're in a different world. That's how the name's pronounced. Grow up.
Yeah, exactly.
There's people called Effie.
Yeah, Effie.
And Katniss.
Effie has a character arc. She starts as that thing, and then she comes to the good side.
She comes to the good side?
Yeah.
My question would be,
okay,
why, how, and when did that happen?
Because she was kicked out with them.
Fuck you. I've done a film studies
degree,
but genuinely. And I can call Andrew an alcoholic and say that everything he says.
I'm a fat gay
what I'm saying right now isn't necessarily.
I am over. Do you know what the kind of pressures I'm under at the moment?
So,
do you know the pressure my heart is under?
I couldn't imagine. No,
one for forbidden love, one for the wall of fat that is building around it. Cholesterol is high.
When you're looking at when you're looking
the camera can't see at this point.
I don't care. When you're looking at that film, so Riddick, that's not his name. That is a
they're basic character arms. But Liam Hemsworth's character starts off as likable. We like him. Then it ends up we don't actually like him. He's not the one for Katniss. Gale, we think cuck. He's a bit annoying. He's fine, but he's not for Katniss. Then he proves himself. He is for Katniss. Effie is evil and vapid. Well, just vapid. And then she's still vapid, but then she comes on the good side. Haymitch reveals his character slowly.
No, he doesn't.
They've all got character.
Take that back.
So that was our review of Hunger Games. I thought they were quite good though. For a young and adult fiction, they were like simple and well done. You know, it's not a very well developed world, but I thought it was like it's like fine.
The world is the best part of that film.
Yeah, because it's simple.
The characters are unbelievable.
Okay.
The world has something to say.
Sure. Yeah.
The world, it's one of those because it's
kind of
adapted
like a
from
simple,
a novel.
Yeah.
Kind of. I haven't read the novel, but the premise is a bit of a vapid novel.
Sure.
And then what I see it as is an attempt to interact with revolutionary politics
for like
in a vapid way. For 16-year-olds.
It's well done.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But the character arcs are poor. And
I'll
you
let you have
can't
it.
change my mind on that. And maybe I'm just talking about these like big Hollywood movies.
Shut
up! Maybe I'm just talking about these big Hollywood movies in general, and I haven't seen many of them recently, so that's why I think it's been surprising to see it. But what confuses me is that you have the character arcs where suddenly F.A. or not Katniss or Haymitch or someone you're watching a scene and suddenly they're a completely different person. Based on who they were in the last scene, and what's missing is that tangible reason why they've changed. I guess because they don't have enough time to focus on them. So what I'm really saying is I want a Haymitch spin-off series called The Hungry Games.
Now we're kicking with gas.
Where Haymitch, here we go. Haymitch is in rehab. Haymitch is in rehab, and part of what they do Haymitch is meant to go to rehab, but because of a clerical error, they send him to fat camp. No, Haymitch isn't fat. They send him to fat camp, but Horatio is, and he's also gay. But I didn't have any knowledge of the fact of that. But they send Haymitch to fat camp accidentally.
Yeah.
He is then starved, but the people who are running fat camp, who are like the stormtrooper guys in Hunger Games, why do they look so much like stormtroopers?
So there's a fat cap in the Hunger Games world.
Yeah, it's the Hunger Games. You can't do a Haymitch spin-off series without it being in the Hunger Games universe.
I'm just saying it seems mad.
Horatio, it's the Hungry Games. Okay. I don't know how many times to specify this. So he's accidentally, due to a clerical error, sent to fat camp
instead of rehab.
So the whole film is then him.
Is this a collection of films, or is it like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air half-an-hour sitcom?
Look, Horatio, I couldn't have been more clear.
So is it like a half-an-hour sitcom?
It's a trilogy.
Okay, so it's a 3-film thing.
Of films.
Okay.
And the first film. Let's not go into all 3 films. The first film is about him breaking out of fat camp, but being constantly, his attempts being thwarted by the runners of fat camp. And then it turns out that the warden of the fat camp is actually F.A.'s sister.
Okay.
And that means...
Not a huge twist.
Not the biggest twist. Maybe we find that out.
You're a monster! I'm Effie's sister! What?
No!
Not Effie's sister!
And then we end the first film there, and with obviously audiences flocking to see the next.
To find the next out on the next 2, you're going to have to subscribe to the Patreon. That's been the end of Boys Gone Wild. Do you have anything else to say? No, that's Andrew done. Remind me to never let Andrew lead a segment again. Oh, God. All right. See you next week.